Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You're not ready? Well, I suggest you get ready because we got a whole lot to talk about, right? If you're not ready, that's okay. We're going to help you get ready in this video. Welcome back to another Paulizè Talks. I'm Paulizè Anthony, and today we're taking risks today. That's right. We're taking leaps of faith. We're jumping out there. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we know that greatness is gonna come at the end of whatever we do, right? We're gonna be talking about risks and what it means to take risks and the outcomes behind taking risks, right? Now, for those that are new, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I truly believe we do better when we grow together, so let's continue to grow with one another. As always, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of whenever I post another video, right? And share in the comment section below if there's anything that you were able to take away from this, and share some inspirational thoughts in the comment section as well, because they mean so much. Like, truly, they mean so much, because that's what this is all about. You know, we come together, we share, we grow. That's what this community is all about. We're going to be talking about risks. Now, I've been studying this for some time now, and what does it really mean to take risks, right? What does it mean to take risks? First off, let's look at the definition of what risk means. Risk is a situation involving exposure or danger. In other words, you're just putting yourself out there not knowing what's going to come behind that, right? So an example being when you're first getting started being an entrepreneur or being a content creator or things of that nature, right? It's so easy to stagnate yourself because you feel like you need to have all of these things in place in order for you to create the way you want to create, right? It's like, I gotta have this kind of equipment. It's gotta be this time of the day. I gotta have all of these points together before I even say anything. I have to rehearse it so many times. Nah. When it comes to taking risk, you just have to do it, right? There is so much power when you just take that risk and you just go in. There's so much you can learn when you just put yourself out there. And honestly, this is the foundation for whatever it is that you're trying to build for yourself. That first step, that first risk. Because when you decide to take on the challenge, I would say, of being a creator, of creating your life the way you see fit, it's always going to be risky. You're always going to be taking risk because there's no security, I guess you can say. But you know what? That leads me into my first point. There's only one form of security, and that's inner security. Now, our jobs do create this false sense of security with, you knowing what's going to happen, right? It's almost like a predictability. You know when you're going to get paid. You know when to show up. You already know. You have that pattern down to a science. But when it comes down to you creating your own, you're always going to take risks because you never know what's going to happen at the end of whatever it is you're doing. So inner security is what you need to be focused on most importantly. And what does that mean? That means you're working on yourself continuously. That means you're working on the inner you. That means you're working on your past traumas. You're staying present. You're not worried about the future because the future is just what's happening in this moment right now. If you're so concerned about the future, it's because you're not doing anything in the present. So don't worry about whatever happened to you back then. because that only built you to be the person that you are today. But now you have to take inventory of what's going on internally and discard what's useless and keep what is still of value to you and add on new things, so that way you can continue to grow further in this thing we call life, right? So inner security is so important. And honestly, that builds up courage, which allows you to take more risks, because it's so easy to get discouraged when you try something and you fail at it, and then you get ridiculed for that failure, and now you think as though this is it. This is it. Like, I knew that this was gonna happen and everybody was right and I shouldn't have done this, and let me just go back to my false security. Your inner security is what will build that confidence for you in the long run. So that's what you need to be focused on most. Wise men don't look for security, they look for opportunity, right? When you, like I said before, when you decide to take on this challenge, you're not looking for security, you're looking for opportunity. All of us are in a state of always looking for something that is better for us, both, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything that aligns with who we are, right? But a lot of us aren't really looking for that security. We're really looking for opportunity to become better versions of ourselves. So once you're able to build that inner security, now opportunities will seek you and you'll be able to execute because you've done the inner work. So don't worry about looking for security. Worry about looking for opportunity instead. Here's another point. All problems become smaller when you don't dodge them, but confront them. So when it comes down to taking risks, right? Risks come with problems, of course. And so many times we try to avoid the risk because we get so caught up in our minds like, oh man, what if this, what if that, what if it doesn't work, what if people say this, right? If you're able to confront that problem, if you're able to address that head on, then it becomes smaller. And all of a sudden you begin to realize that people's opinions don't matter. I really had the secret in me the whole time. I had the ability to do this the whole time, but I was holding myself back. So don't worry about what others say. Don't worry about what others may think about what you're doing. So long as you're being authentic to who you are, just know that. And I guarantee you, any problem that you may occur will always seem smaller than what we initially make it out to be. Because that honestly builds confidence within us. Because if you just allow a problem to just continue to fester, then it diminishes your confidence. And now you're falling back because you think, oh man, this just wasn't it. Here's the thing though. Adversity introduces a person to themselves. So even with these problems you're gonna encounter throughout your life, they're just introducing different versions of yourself. Resistance makes stronger. So think of it in terms of like working out, right? When you're working out, you're essentially using resistance to build more muscle. That's the same aspect you can take in life. When you're being introduced to different adversities, it's only there to make you stronger, not to tear you down. Because when you are called to do something great, then greatness is required of you. So whatever problem you may be facing, whatever it is you may be going through, just know that you're strong enough to handle it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going through what you're going through. The only reason it's happening to, or should I say the only reason it's happening for you, is because whatever you believe in, God, your spirit guides, the universe, is working in your favor. Even when things seem like they're not going your way, it's working in your favor. Because you were put on this planet to go through a test to move on to the next level. And you're not going to be able to do that unless you go through some adversities. How else do you grow? It's all about how you stand up to your problems. It's all about how you stand up to your problems. You could be fearful, you can be doubtful, you could be second guessing yourself. But if you show up with that courage, I guarantee you all of that will disappear. You just have to be courageous and speak with confidence. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt that you know what you're doing, and can't nobody tell you that you don't know what you're doing, because you do it so well, right? You do it so well that can't nobody be like, man, he doesn't know what he's doing. Nah, you know what you're doing. You know your value. You know your worth. You know how to stand up to your problems. Where other people look at their problems and run away, you stare your problems in the face. Even if you are afraid, you still look at them like, what's up? You know? So don't look at adversity as something that's trying to tear you down. Look at it as something that's trying to build you up. It's how you react to problems that determine your growth and maturity. Literally. The way you stand up to your problems will determine how you stand up to future problems and problems right now in this moment. Now, you may not have handled problems so well in the past, but that was just a learning lesson to show you how to handle problems whenever they present themselves in the future and in the present moment. So now you literally equipped yourself with the tools necessary to move through your life experience. So that's all it is. A lot of us go through trial and tribulations every day, but it's about how we tackle those. And the level of maturity that we have whenever we do attack these problems. But it's how you react as well when it comes down to problems happening to you. It always seems like the risk takers are the ones that reap the most reward. Because when you play it safe, you get hurt. Honestly. When you try to play things safe, you get hurt. Now, when you're taking a risk, there is a possibility that you can get hurt. But the fact that you're out there already taking that risk means that you've developed a level of confidence in yourself to withstand any kind of damage that's taken. Because if you weren't strong enough, then you wouldn't even be considering a risk. But here you are, still standing. The risk takers are the ones that reap the benefits of this world. The ones that are willing to do the things that others aren't willing to do. Today, tomorrow, so on and so forth. If you are a risk taker, that means that you have a blessing coming your way. Whether you realize it or not. Even if it seems like nothing's happening right now, you show up for yourself every single day. And that there goes to show that you are on your way to reap whatever benefit that life has in store for you. Another part of taking risk is be willing to be misunderstood, right? To be great is to be misunderstood. A lot of people are not going to understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. You could have a great paying job, you could have a nice house, nice car, good benefits and all that. But you're willing to risk all of that for being an entrepreneur? That sounds crazy to a lot of people. But it's not for them to understand. Only when you execute on your vision and you see the benefits of it, and soon enough everybody else will, is when then it'll be understood, right? Because what's real doesn't really need to be talked about so much. You have to be willing to be misunderstood in order to gain great value, or in order to gain greatness in whatever it is that you're doing. It's not going to be easy. I'm telling you, when you take on this trial, this role, it's not going to be easy, and a lot of people are not going to understand it. That's why a small percentage of people run this world. That's why. Because a lot of people are not willing to step out of their box, their comfort zone, what they've been conditioned to believe, in order to see other opportunities, other avenues, other ventures. So be willing to be misunderstood, because you are not going to be understood most of the time. So long as you stay true to who you are, though, it's okay. Some of the greatest people literally create like ideas out of thin air where people believe like this is impossible. This doesn't make sense, right? But then after a while, people catch on and people start to realize, you know what, maybe they weren't so crazy after all. So it's okay. Continue to be misunderstood, because within time, People will understand. Here's another thing. Risk takers know for a fact that there is nothing wrong with failure. Failures are just lessons that teach you how to move forward in your life. So when it comes to being a risk taker, you don't look at failure as ridicule. You don't look at failure as, oh man, I done messed up and this will never work for me. Nah, you look at failure as, well, now I know not to do that. Now you look at failure as, look, I've done that. It didn't work for me. Now let's try this. Maybe this will be something better. Me, I have failed a lot in my life, without a doubt. So when you begin to build a relationship with failure, you begin to realize that failure is not really so negative like people make it out to be. It's really something that's beautiful and positive. You know, it helps you to understand who you are. Seriously. Can you imagine if nobody ever failed in their life? We probably wouldn't have some of the inventions that we have today. We probably wouldn't have the opportunities that we have today. So failure is a beautiful thing. And realize that. If people ridicule you, if people like pick on you because you failed at something, let them laugh, let them talk, let them think whatever they want to think, because they don't see what you see, they don't feel how you feel, and they're never going to be where you're going to be. Right? How Cole said it, if you broke and clowning a millionaire, the joke is on you. You are a millionaire in the making. You are pre-rich. So let them continue to talk and clown. Guess what? They're going to be the ones working for you. They're going to be the ones asking you for employment, asking you for advice. Then their kids are going to come to you, asking you for employment, asking you for advice. That's how it goes. Continue to be a risk taker and understand that there's nothing wrong with failure. That's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you for being here. I hope this was able to add value to you in some way, shape, or form. I hope there was something that you could take from this that you can apply to your life, and you can help somebody else along the road. But as always, thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I truly believe we do better when we grow together, so let's continue to grow with one another. As always, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. And again, leave me something down in the comment section and let me know what you got from this. And also share with me some pointers as well, you know. Let me know if there's anything you want to hear. And as always, thank you for the support. Merchandise, link in bio. Now, with all that being said, go out there and be great. But always remember to be you, be unique, and remember that anything's possible when you do the work. Peace.